Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday the 17th. I am on my way to have my coronavirus test. I'm not doing it because I'm sick or I feel any symptoms. I don't feel sick at all. I don't have any symptoms at all. Nobody in the family does. We're doing it because in our town, we hardly had any case. I think we had 12 forever. Then one day it spiked to 15. But now the public health department has said that there are so many more cases, and they were due to graduation parties and churches reopening and people going back to churches. And I don't know if they were following the CDC guidelines or what, but it obviously created a spike in our town. So they're just urging everybody, whether you have symptoms or not, whether you feel sick or not, to go and just have the test done. I thought of doing it before, but I always wanted to save it for people who really needed it done, because I know that it was not that much testing. And so I felt like people that were really sick or had symptoms should have first priority. So I kind of just stayed in the back. We did shelter in place. We do wear a mask at all times when we're out in public. We follow all the CDC guidelines. So far, it's been good. So I kind of just wanted those people to have priority. But now it's different. Now they're just urging anybody and everybody to go have the test done, whether you have symptoms or not, whether you feel sick or not. So my daughter, she did it last week and she came out good, thank God, because she just went back to work. She's a healthcare provider. She went back to work. She's only working for one client right now. She requested that because she just had a baby a few months ago. She didn't want to work with different clients. She has to wear a mask at all times. But she told me about it before even the spike happened, that they were offering it to anybody and everybody, whether you had symptoms or not. And yesterday or the day before, then in our newspaper, Mendocino Voice, they had said, oh, now there's a big spike, and we're really, really urging everybody to do it. So I thought, okay, let's just take care of the whole family, just make sure that we're good, because even though we're doing shelter in place and we're wearing our mask and doing everything and anything to protect ourselves, when we have to go out and get food or necessities, there's a lot of people that still don't respect the guidelines, that still take it as a joke, that are still selfish, and they will wear their mask to get into a store like if it was a password, and not keep it on, knowing that it's not the point of getting into the store, it's the point of protecting yourself and others and stuff like that. So the fact that we've had to go out, we tried not to go out as much as possible, but the fact that we had to go out, you always add a risk, more risk than staying just at home. Another reason my husband is still working, so he comes home. And then I have an autoimmune disease, my kids have asthma, so we're at high risk. So just all those little factors, even though we're not sick at all, thank God, and we don't have symptoms, we thought, okay, now since they're urging it, and it's okay, we let all the people that we felt that really were sick have priority. Now it's a chance for us to get it done. So I'm doing that. So I'm today, my daughter over here, hers is next week, because they didn't have any more on today. Hers is next week, and then I'm gonna have my daughter set up my husband's appointment. And today when I get there, I'm gonna ask, because my son is autistic. He has a hard time staying still. He doesn't jump up and, crawl all over the place, but it's hard for him to stay still. So I'm gonna ask them, because you're not supposed to go in there with anybody. You're supposed to go in there by yourself. My daughter's gonna wait in the car for me. It only takes a few minutes, I heard. My daughter said it didn't hurt. It's kind of uncomfortable because something's going way up your nose. But I'm gonna ask them if I make an appointment for my son, if I'm able to be the exception and come in there with him because he's autistic. So I'll find out today, and if I'm able to do that, I'll make an appointment for him. Probably my husband, if possible, on the same day. If not, I can be with him. So we'll see, and that'll pretty much take care of the whole family. So God willing, all our tests come out good, and then it's just, one more step forward to just continuing to do what we do, which is sanitation, wearing masks at all times, and sheltering in place as much as possible. Even though things are reopening, we're not, rushing out to go. It's not a desperation of ours. I totally am okay with shelter in place big time. always been a person of my home, of being with my family, of quality time, of, you know, watching movies, board games, whatever we have to do, music, cooking together, whatever we have to do to have quality time. So this is not new for me. Of course, every now and then you want to go out and have lunch or go shopping, but you know, that's not like a necessity right now because it's about life and death. And I would never want to, you know, unnecessarily put me or my family at risk. So yeah, that's where we are right now. We having our neighbor, when we did our graduation, it was just our little knit family. We didn't invite any family and friends. The neighbors invited us, but we didn't want to go. But I wanted to go give her a gift, and she was outside in front of the door, which we live in a duplex house. So I gave her the gift. She gave me a side hug. I turned my face to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, all these people come out like crazy. No mask. Not one single person was wearing a mask. No one was doing 6 feet distancing. It was a bunch of people, and we thought, okay, congratulations. I hope you like the gift. We gotta go. So we went right back inside the house. But yeah, if they're saying if you were totally involved in graduation parties or you went back to church, and there were lots of people or some CD guidelines weren't being met, whatever, they really urged those people. We haven't gone back to church. I heard our church has reopened slightly. I don't know exactly what that means. I think they're trying to do the plexiglass and the 6 feet distancing and wear masks. I don't think it's really being successful. We're Catholic, so it's really hard, but it has to be done. So I'm just not going to take a chance. You know, there's so many other ways that I can stay spiritual and worship God, and it's just not worth it. I'm sure He expects us to be compassionate, not selfish. So, yeah. So we just arrived. It's at our fairgrounds here in town. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is our fairgrounds. It's where people do weddings and quinceañeras and parties, company parties. It's where they do the fair. For any type of event or occasion, this is our fairgrounds. This is where everything happens. I haven't been here in so long. So it's about, what time is it? 2:47. So in about a couple of minutes, I'll probably start walking forward, because I don't really know where it's at or what the door is. So anyway, I thought I was recording, so the last thing I said is in a few minutes I'm going to go in here, because I don't know exactly what door, what the process is. I know I have to show them ID and give them my ID number that I set up online. If I can record, I will. If I can't, it's because they didn't let me to. I also have my ID on the phone, so they probably will see me recording. So we'll see how it goes. Either way, I'll definitely let you know. Okay, I just had my coronavirus test done. It was really an easy process. I didn't record. They didn't say I couldn't record, but I really didn't. I didn't really have time to have the phone up in my face, and so I thought, oh, just forget it. I took 2 pictures, not with me, with the person, just kind of leaving the building. But yeah, so I didn't want to have my phone and her trying to put the nose around the swab around my phone or anything, so I just said forget it. But yeah, the girl that I got was really sweet. You go in, they guide you to this table where there's 2 people at with a computer and a printer, and it has like a plastic curtain kind of feel, and then they ask you for your ID number and then your date of birth, and then they printed this paperwork out, put it in the plastic bag. I got a little clip of those 2 people. And then they tell you to stand on this X, which is like 6 feet apart. And then the lady comes and she actually has the shield, the plexiglass or whatever, shield on her face. And she takes you through the process. You know, she tells you It's not going to be painful. It's just going to be uncomfortable because something obviously is going up your nose. It's going to be really quick. And so, yeah, so she has you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then she sticks it up your nose. My case is it was on my right side of the nose. And so it goes, it's trippy. You know, once it goes in, it just keeps going and going and going. Let me take this down. And you're like, how far does this thing go? And then I could feel like a block, like it kind of, like it clogged up the back of my nose or throat. And then I could feel her twisting the swab. And then, so I would say no more than a minute. I'm not good at explaining right timing. So it could have been 10 seconds and I'm thinking it's a minute. But yeah, and she said, that's it. And so I asked her about my son, him being autistic, and if I could come with them. And she said, oh, of course, of course. I said, you know, he would be scared. He would be uncomfortable. He wouldn't know what to say or do. So she said, yeah. She said, bring him on a Tuesday. I'm here every Tuesday. And that's really sweet because she was really, really sweet. And she said, go ahead and register him and get that number, but don't make an appointment. Just bring him in on Tuesday. So I'm going to try it that way and see what happens. Because they didn't even ask me what time is your appointment or anything. They didn't ask me for my ID, which they said they would, but I had it just in case, so no biggie. So yeah, it was really quick. It just felt like ticklish, kind of weird in that way. It wasn't uncomfortable, wasn't painful. It was just ticklish weird, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and I guess you get your results in 2 days. I forgot to confirm that with her, but my daughter did it, and they send you an email with your results. With my daughter, it took 2 days. That's what they told her, so I'm thinking it's going to be the same way. So, yeah, I'm glad I got it done, you know, just to see where I am so far since we've been in this pandemic. Kind of like a check-in. Probably, you know, unless something happens to the exception, I'd probably wait another few months. Well, that's what I think. Every few months you should have it done, unless, like I say, something comes up that you're more at risk, and then you're like, I need to check. So we'll see how it goes. She's next week on a Wednesday, I think, and then I'll probably bring my son and my husband on a Tuesday. So we'll see how that goes. And that's it. So I highly recommend it, no matter where you are. If you haven't had it done, definitely if you're at a high risk, you know, if you're working, no matter what kind of job you have, that you're around other people and you really can't completely, you try your best to 6 feet distance and wear a mask. Like at my husband's job, he, like everybody, just didn't care to wear the mask anymore, and he's been telling them, don't come around me if you don't have a mask. I have a family to go back to, and they're taking it like a no big deal. And then they're in the lunchroom, like 7-8 people, nobody's 6 feet distancing. So it's annoying to him, but he's doing his part. So definitely, if you're back to work, no matter what your job is, you should have it done. If you're at high risk, you should have it done. If you've been to any kind of event, graduation parties, churches, you know, whatever, if you've been out there in public and there hasn't been like wearing masks and doing 6 feet apart, definitely, if you're at high risk, I would urge you to do it. But even if you're not sick and you don't have any symptoms and you feel like you've been protecting yourself really good, I still would have it done just to check in, because a lot of people do have it and don't have symptoms, and they have no clue where they got it because they really haven't been around, you know, risky places, and they end up having it. So it's good to just have it done at least once and check in. And like I said, it's not painful or uncomfortable. You know, some people are sensitive to stuff going in their nose or their eyes or their ears. Some people are more sensitive than others, so it might be uncomfortable to that person, but it's definitely not painful. It's so thin. I wish I had a picture of it. But it's definitely worth it. Even if it was uncomfortable or painful, it's still definitely worth it. So I would highly recommend it. I'll let you know how it goes for her and the rest of my family. Like I said, my oldest daughter, she took it and her test results were negative, so she's good. And like I said, she's a healthcare worker, so am I. But I work for the state as a healthcare worker, but I'm my only client, the person I'm taking care of is my own son. I can have other clients, but I don't have them. It's mainly to take care of my son. So, but like I said, my husband goes out of the house to work, and sometimes we have to go out there to get food and necessities. So it's kind of scary. So we'll see what happens. We'll let you know. So we're here at our fairgrounds. My son is going to do his COVID-19 test. He didn't have an appointment because she told me not to make an appointment for him, just to bring him Tuesdays. But I have his ID. Let's see what happens. How's that mask feel?
A little bit.
Is it better than the other ones? You got to wrap it around. They're not, I'm okay with them, but him and my daughter have asthma. So with the other ones, they have such a hard time breathing.
Ever getting tested?
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
You told me to bring them in on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, okay.
So you got this, okay?
Okay, stay still. See, it just tickles. Did you feel like it was going back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised I didn't. Blood didn't come out when the